Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Thea, and it is October 29th, 2020. We're going to start in the regular fashion, just lying on your back, watching your breath coming into the room, noticing the floor supporting you, noticing your breath supporting you. Think of a spot, the spot that's behind your eye sockets and a little below them. That's the pituitary gland. It's a very quiet place to rest your attention. I love my body and my body loves me. Bring your hands behind your head for vagus nerve reset. And without moving anything else, shift your eyeballs to the right. Your eyes can be open or closed. Shift your eyeballs to the right and wait for an involuntary yawn, sigh, swallow, or gulp. Come back to center and shift your eyeballs to the left. And wait for an involuntary sigh, yawn, swallow, or gulp. Resetting the vagus nerve with your optical nerve. Come back to center and do this 2 more sets, right, left, right, left. Come back to center, finish up. Leave your hands where they are. Head ramping. So press the base of the back of your skull, the occipital ridge, into your hands and your mat and the floor. And then stay here for a couple breaths and then release. And repeat that 4 more times. If you work on a computer or play on a cell phone, I recommend you do this every hour. You don't have to be supine. You could be seated, seated or standing up. This will counteract or help balance the neck and shoulder issues that we get from working on our computers and cell phones. Finish up. We're going to do some breath work. Let's do ribcage breathing, but first that a little massage at the bottom of the ribcage where the ribcage meets the diaphragm. Just make a little claws with your hands and try to loosen up the diaphragm. Release it from, it's a lot of times it gets really sticky at the edges where it meets the rib cage. We can improve our breath and the respiratory system just by doing this little massage. You can start down below the sternum and then come all the way out to the edge, outer edge, the side of the rib cage. You get to explore the shape of the bottom of your rib cage too. And whenever you're done with that, then put your hands at your rib cage, at the base of the rib cage on the side, thumbs down toward the floor, fingers up towards the navel, and we're going to start to do rib cage breathing, just inhaling, expanding the rib cage side to side and back to front, and then exhaling, it recoils. You can feel that and notice it with your hands too. And just inhaling and exhaling. And keeping the focus on the rib cage and the breath in the rib cage. A couple more breaths. And then finish up, and we're going to do the basic hypopressive movement. So for hypopressives, your heels are on the floor, your toes are towards the ceiling. You're going to bring your arms into a hug a tree position over your chest. Flip your fingers, flip your palms, and now activate your arms and shoulders by pressing your palms toward the ceiling and your scapula, your shoulder blades toward the floor. We're going to do 3 breaths. I'm going to cue them. And then after the 3rd breath, no breath, holding your breath out after the 3rd exhale. And I'll count to 12. And then inhale, exhale, and come out of it. So 3 breaths, inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale and exhale and release all of that. Let's go ahead and extend your legs and cross the right ankle over the left. Bring your arms above you, hug a tree over your chest, but this time stack the left hand over on top of the right hand. Straighten your arms, bring them overhead. Whoops, we didn't do the 3 breaths. No, now we're going to do the 3 breaths. Okay, I got confused. I talked too much and got confused. Okay. In 3 breaths, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath, inhale, exhale. No breath. Hold your breath out. I'm going to count to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And inhale and exhale. Release everything and switch sides. Do exactly the same thing on the opposite side. Left ankle, arms overhead by the chest. Stacking right hand on top, left on the bottom. Straighten your arms, take them overhead by your knees. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out. No breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale and exhale. Come all the way out and stay here. We're going to do a little bit of work on the floor. The first thing I want you to do is lift your right leg, lift both legs straight up to the ceiling and circle your ankles. So this is just a straight leg lift with ankle circles. You can bend your knees if it's too hard to keep your legs straight up. You could bend your knees into a circle. In fact, you can choose between bent knees or straight, and then circles. And do it in one direction and then do it in the other. And then bring your feet down to the floor and bring your right knee up towards your chest and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. This is a hip opener all by itself, but we're going to add some footwork. You're going to do a toe handshake. So take one of your hands, fingers, and thread the fingers through the toes. You may need to bring your knees farther forward to do this. And if you can't do this lying down, you could come up to a floor seated or a chair seated position and do this. So from here, you're shaking hands with your toes on the one foot. And just get your fingers as far down as they can go into the little grooves between the toes. And then you can start to kind of do a little massage. You can rotate, dorsiflex, plantar flex, just free form wiggling the foot with your hand that's handshaking. You can do little circles here too. But the circle here then becomes a circle at the front of the foot. It's not really a circle on the ankle. release that and pull your big toe. This might be hard to get to too, but I'd like you to hold on to your big toe and pull it out to the outside, and then the little toe and pull it out away from the center also. So you may have to do this one at a time if you can't reach. It just depends on what you can reach here. So pull the big toe away from center. If you can do it at the same time, pull the little toe away from the center. Otherwise, do one and then the other. Just pull, and you can wiggle wiggle the toes, pull on them, stir them, but mainly spread them away from the center, because they're supposed to be spread. Your toes are supposed to be wide, like your fingers, and they were in the beginning, but today it is what it is, and we're trying to make it a little better. Spread and wiggle and pull and tug. And now go ahead and switch sides. So this time the left knee comes forward, then the crossover, then the toe shape, handshake.
Wow. Toes do not cooperate.
And just stay here and play around with your, greet your toes with your hands. Now, when you're ready, just remove your fingers and start to pull your big toe to the outside away from the center, and your little toe also. And just play with that. Toe work, which is part of footwork. Just as ankle work is part of footwork. We're going to do some ankle work later. Okay, when you're finished with that, come up to standing and walk around, and then find your therapy ball, one therapy ball out of the sock or the tote. One ball out of the sock or the tote. And Kathy's going to mark her foot. 6 points that we're going, this is a six point massage for the foot. So look at the first point is just below the big toe mound in the middle at the top of the arch. Number one, right about there, yeah. And then the next one is in the middle of the arch. And then down just in front of the heel. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to find these points yourself, but this is going to give you a good idea. Number 4 is on the outside of the center, so up to the outside of 2. And then number 5 is inside of 2. And the last one is just below the big toe mound. So those are your 6 points. And you're going to stay on them. I think I'll just time you 10 seconds. Hold on. Let's do 15 seconds for each. Now, I recommend if you have feet issues, you could do this. I'm having trouble with my little improvised table. It keeps falling. If you hear noises in the background, that's what it is. I'm gonna have to go find another table if this one isn't the best. So you're gonna start. So if you have time, do this once a day. Spend 5 minutes with your ball under your feet at these points. So start in standing good posture. And I would say near a wall or a chair or something.
Now I'm just gonna leave my leg here so you can see what I'm doing with my foot.
Right,
but-
right. But in everybody else would have their leg farther forward. Show what it's like to have your leg farther forward, Kathy. So it's going to be like more like that, but not for Kathy because we want you to see what she's doing. So this is the first point number 1, and I am going to time it 15 seconds. We're going to do 15 seconds at each point, just enjoying the, well, your foot is enjoying this massage. Don't move the ball though. Point number 2, bring the ball farther down in the middle of the arch. Point number 3, below that, just in front of the calcaneus, the heel. Stay here and breathe. Point number 4 is back at the center of the arch, but to the outside of the foot. This actually could be a little tender for some people. You could do this seated. You won't have as much body weight on the ball, but it'll still be. In fact, if this is too much for your feet, I would recommend doing it seated.
Yeah.
Inside, so at the middle of the arch to the inside of the middle of the arch. This is position 5. Position 6, the last position, is just below the big toe mound. And then release. Walk around and see if you can feel a difference between foot 1 and foot 2.
Oh, I can.
Yeah. This is called body awareness, folks. When you start to notice these things. Switch feet. Start at point number 1, which is just below the mound. At this beginning front of the arch. I like timing like this. It creates a lot of structure and order. Go down, roll down to the center of the arch. Although maybe I should do 20 seconds. Like maybe next time we do this, I'll do 20 seconds. 15 seems so short when it's timed. Number 3, roll on down just in front of the heel. Number 4, go back up to the center, to the middle, but to the outside of the arch of the foot. And then inside of the foot, number 5, so towards in the middle at the inside of the foot. And the last one is just below the big toe mound. And so that series is complete. You may want to walk around and see how it feels. If it feels any different than before. And the next thing we're going to do is the 3-way ankle stretch.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to need a half round if you have one. If you don't have one, I suggest you get one. They're not very expensive. I mainly use mine just for this ankle stretch, but most people need this ankle stretch. So I have a number of half rounds and I put them underneath my kitchen sink, on the floor or in my bathroom, and then I can stretch my ankles and do calf raises on this. So once again, Kathy's going to put her foot behind so you can see where to place your foot. So the toes are up on the top, and then the heel is on the bottom. Just stay here for a minute. This is a great stretch. Just stay here. Then we'll start the 3-way stretch, which is when we're moving, flexing and extending at the ankle. I think I'm going to time this and time it for 20 seconds. So the first thing you're going to do now on this 3-way stretch is you're going to move the ankle towards the toes. So the ankle, you're flexing the ankle. Oops, never mind that. Flexing the ankle. And somehow I need to get back to the start. Just forward. You could also do little bounce it, make it, instead of compressing for 20 seconds, you could bounce that whole time. The next movement is you're going to go towards the inside of your ankle, of your foot. So it's the same, it's a forward flexion, but slightly to the inside of your foot. So remember, the knee follows the ankle flexion, but it's not the mover here, or the initiator. The last one in the 3-way ankle stretch is to the outside. So you're flexing the ankle. The front of the shin is coming closer to the feet. The knee follows and comes forward a little too. And you're not going straight forward, you're going out to the outside of the foot. Come out of that and switch sides, left foot. And just stay here for a minute and do a calf raise or calf stretch. We don't have to rush here. And that's what I do when I'm brushing my teeth or washing my dishes. If you start doing this, your calves will long for this. They'll beg for it. And go ahead and start the stretch. So front, the shin of the leg goes forward towards the toes. So you're flexing at the ankle. If you have feet and ankle issues, okay, go to the next position, or the next movement is toward the inside of the foot. So the ankle is moving forward, but a little bit on an angle. It's not a very big movement, actually, towards the inside of the foot. If you have feet and ankle issues and wanted a program, a daily program, I would do this and the footwork with the therapy balls. And if you wanted a short program, about 10 minutes. The last one, what did I went to the inside. Now you're going to go to the outside of the foot. And this is a very small difference from the basic, the original one, but it's a difference. It's a difference that your ankle loves.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no.
What happened? Who's saying shoot? Okay, I don't know who that is. Send me a note if you need my help. Someone's saying shoot. Okay, now, but I'm assuming it's all good. So the next thing I'd like you to do is heel lifts. So this requires that you have a chair or a wall or some safe point in front of you. You have a therapy ball nearby, and you're going to stand.
That's about $2 a glass. More than that.
Hold on just a second. Oh, okay. If you guys want to, you can mute yourselves. Okay, so Kathy's in the beginning position, and you want to put your hand, your hands can touch or tap the chair, but it's not really like you're not holding on so much. This is a balancing. That's why you have a chair or a wall, and you're just going to lift your heels up and then lower, lift and lower. And let's do that 10 times. And after 10, go ahead and put the therapy ball between your ankles at the very back of your ankles. So a little farther back than that, Kathy. Yes. And then capture the ball and continue 10 more heel lifts with the therapy ball. This is to help you make a core connection, actually. Core and glute connection between the feet and the core and the glutes. The ball helps with that. And then let's do some split stance short foot. Actually, I think I would add short foot to your daily program, your brief program. It's getting a little longer, but the ankle work, short foot, and the massage, 6-point massage. That would be a really nice practice. Of course, you can do short foot anywhere. And this is This is the starting position. And the first thing you want to do is notice your tripod on the bottom of the foot. Notice the triangle. It's the big under the big toe, the little toe, and then at the heel. Notice that first. Then lift your toes and spread them. Then grab your abdominals. So engage your abdominals as low as you can get. And now lower the toes and press the toe pads into the floor. And notice, spend some time here, breathing and noticing the core, and then noticing the foot and the medial arch that runs from the back to the foot to the front, or the front to the back, however you want to look at it. So just bring your attention to the medial arch, bring your attention to the abdominals, low abdominals, and then back and forth, just a little while. This is called split stance, short foot with core. Go ahead and switch sides. Find your tripod first, become aware of that. Then spread your toes, lift your toes and spread them. And now grab your abdominals as low as you can, transverse abdominals. And now lower your toes and press the toe pads, not the metatarsals, the toe pads into the floor. So now switch your attention between the core that you've engaged and the medial arch that runs from the front to the back of your foot. And then keep moving your attention between those 2 points. And then switch sides, we'll do it again. Now, Kathy, your feet may be a little bit too far apart. Although, I mean, it has to be something comfortable for you. So, but I thought you were wobbling. I thought maybe they were too far apart, but maybe they were too not wide enough. So remember, so you need, your feet are about hip distance apart, and then you're stepping one foot forward. But find your best balance point. Oops. Oops, something else. Find something else that keep you stable. Okay, so find the tripod, lift your toes, spread your toes, grab your abdominals, the lowest point, and now drop your toes and press the toe pads. Emily Splitchell sometimes says toenails, but I like toe pads better, into the floor. And then start to bring your attention between the 2 points, the abdominals and then the medial arch. So abdominals, medial arch, and medial arch, and abdominals. This is core activation. Go to the other side, last one. So the first thing you're going to notice is the tripod on the bottom of your foot. And then lift your toes and spread them. Grab your abdominals as low as you can, transverse abdominals. And then notice and drop your toes. Press your toe pads into the floor. Notice the medial arch. Notice the abdominals. Move your attention between those 2 points. The toe pads are still pressing into the floor. And then go ahead and stop that. You can shake your feet if you want. I want you to come into a chair. We're going to do a little bit more footwork in the chair. I told you this was footwork. I could have called this a footwork workshop, although I want you to back bend at the wall sometime later today. Okay, sitting in a chair with your feet out in front of you. So go ahead and the bent knees are at 90 degrees, about 90 degrees, Kathy. I see you have a new chair.
Yeah, it's a lower chair.
I think it's better, probably.
Yeah.
Go ahead and sit sideways so people can see what you're doing here. Bent knees 90 degrees.
Okay, hold on. It's that easy.
Okay, now from here, this is with toe squeezes. So first of all, you're going to bring your toes up toward the ceiling. You're flexing at the heat. Yeah, just like that. And now squeeze your toes.
I'm not sure what you mean by squeeze.
Well, you know how you spread your toes sometimes? Well, you want to do exactly the opposite, squeeze.
Okay.
Squeeze them together. So you're dorsiflexing as much as you can. Can you get your toes a little higher? Squeeze the toes. Release the toe squeeze. Drop your feet. And squeeze your toes again. Squeeze your toes. You may get a cramp at the bottom of your foot. I get a cramp at the bottom of my foot doing this. Squeeze your toes, unsqueeze them, but you hold for a little while and then come back up, dorsiflex. So that's the movement. If you dorsiflex, you squeeze your toes as much as you can, and then unsqueeze them and lower your foot, and then squeeze your toes again. You're going to have to, when you squeeze on the floor, then your arch will go up, right? I mean, you're not going to stay flat on the floor. Squeeze your toes, straighten your toes, spread your toes, and bring your toes up. At the top, so at the top and the bottom, you squeeze, hold, and release. If that makes any sense, just keep doing it. If it gets too hard, do one foot at a time, and that might make it easier. This is ankle flexion with toe squeezes. And then, so you've done both feet, I am assuming. Stop that, relax. And now I want you to do this. And you're going to do 1 foot at a time on this one. You're going to lift the big toe without moving the other toes. Now, if you can't do this, I want you to put your hand on, lean down and put your hand on your big other toes. And now try to lift the big toe. So I can't do it without putting my hand on. Some people can. I've seen videos of them doing it, but I can't. But lift the big toe and now hold the big toe down or keep it down without holding onto it and lift all the other toes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's better.
And then any little bit of movement is helpful. However, I would keep, if it's hard for you, this is one you should do on a regular basis. Lift your big toe. Stay on the same side for a couple times, and then we'll go to the other side. Lift your big toe. Hold your other toes down. Lift your big toe. Mine is so small, but I'm lift your big toe. Lift your big toe. You'll feel the others trying to lift with, and then keep the big toe down and lift all the other toes. Eventually, you'll be lifting 1 toe at a time. Yeah, well, I don't know whether that'll be this year or next, but you can use your yoga block. Caitlin says she's using her yoga block to hold the toes down. That's good.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because then it would, I'm going to get my block. I'm going to see how that works, because I think that'll be easier to get to. So And stay on the right and do this a couple more times. Oh my, with the yoga black on my toes, on all my toes, my big toe just doesn't even want to move at all.
Oh dear.
I think maybe I might get another block. Hold on. Get another block and put my foot on it so that my big toe is, my toes are drooping over the foot, over the edge. Maybe this will encourage the big toe to move. Yes, I think that's, my big toe likes. So it goes down and then goes up. It goes down over the brick and it goes up and then I'm putting on, yeah. So try that, just all the toes except the big toe. Try that. Yeah.
There is more movement.
There's more movement for some reason once when you put the toes, hang the toes out over the brick. The people may not have enough bricks to do this, but
Oh, you could use a book.
you could use a book or your cell phone or something. Okay, switch sides. Caitlin, did you try it with two bricks? One brick under your foot? So remember, so you're switching between the big toe going up and down, and then all of the other toes going up without the big toe. So a lot of people have a lot of trouble with their feet. It's amazing how we've basically ignored and neglected the feet for years. So if you want to develop some sort of a fascination with your feet, it's going to be very good for you. And do these movements. It'd be a very good thing. Okay, I think that we should stop that and do a back bend at the wall. So at least we get one back bend in and one spine twist. And actually maybe we'll do, have a brick nearby because we might do also a side bend at the wall. So put your back, stand up against the wall, near the wall, with the wall behind you. And bring your arms overhead. If you have a lot of tightness in your upper back, I'm working with Gloria privately, and I've decided that this is not a good move for her. She can do it in another way in my studio, but so just so you know, this could feel fairly extreme in the upper back or right at the armpits for you. And if it is, I think you should be doing something else. Or maybe putting a brick. I mean, maybe you could have that might be, can you try this, Kathy? Put a brick, hold on to a brick. A thick brick, and see if this would modify that overhead movement a little bit. Put the brick against the wall. I don't know whether this is a great idea or a genius idea or just, I don't know. Fool around with it, you guys. Because this might be too extreme for some people, but for other people, it's going to be a great back bend. I'll have to try this myself. Okay, and go ahead and do the, I just thought of a really nice pose that we can do that. We'll work on some of that limitation if you have it. Let's do this, the triangle, what do we call it? The spine twist with the wall.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I forgot the name of it. So Kathy's on her left side, left shoulder to the wall. Her left foot is forward, her right foot is behind her, and then she bends her elbows and just rotates. And So the deal is, this is like the first part of a triangle in yoga. The hips are forward, but the spine has rotated as far as it can to the side. Oh, and I should be timing this. Oh, well, let me see what I've got on the timer. Yeah, I'll do this. So you could have a footwork practice. Well, you'd need a neck practice too, but footwork practice, then add back bend at the wall, spine twist. Go ahead and switch sides. Some sort of a side bend, and then some neck stretches. You'd have a really nice practice. Just saying. Okay, nice home practice. Side bend at the wall. Spine twist at the wall. We'll do a side bend. 2. Come on back. Find your brick. We're going to do, it's called boomerang. Jill Miller calls it boomerang. It's a side bend at the wall, standing on a brick. So at the wall, stand on a brick with your right shoulder at the wall. It's good enough. You froze, Kathy. Oh, hello. Well, I'm assuming that even though you're frozen, you can hear me. Can someone tell me? Oh, there you are. Okay. Now stand on the brick. My internet connection's unstable. Stand on the brick. It's going to be close, a little closer than that, I think, about halfway, a little closer to the wall. And then stand on the brick. Take your dangling leg across the other leg. This, and then take your outside arm up and over, and then twist the palm. Yeah. So this is a side bend. So use your hands to push away and create a side bend for yourself, Kathy, a real side bend with lots of curve to it. Okay, so maybe I gave you the wrong information about your brick.
It's hard for you to see the perspective.
I know it is. Always remember, you are your best teacher. I'm just hanging out with you, making small talk. Okay, you're going to stay here and back bend. This is called boomerang. The legs are crossed so you can get more of a side bend. Mm-hmm. 10 more seconds, and then we'll switch to the other side. Switch sides. Do the exact same thing on the other side. So the dangling leg crosses over, and the ankles cross, the arm comes up, the other arm comes up and over. You can actually press against the wall if you can get there. You can press against the wall. This is one of those that is, if you can get there, you can do more. Press against the wall. You could spread your hands. You can push on your palms and spread them apart as if you were spreading paint on the wall. All of that increases your side bend. 10 more seconds. And come out of that and walk around. You've done a lot of footwork today. Well, not just now, but before this. Walk around and see how it feels, how your feet and ankles feel, how your balance feels, how your posture feels. What happens when you work on your feet? make some sort of an assessment for yourself. And then once you've done that, then come on down for meditation. Everyone should mute themselves if they're muted. I'm going to stop my video. You're going to find a quiet, supine position. Warm and comfortable. Your knees can be bent. If they are bent, I actually recommend having a blanket or a pillow underneath the knees if they're bent. And then you could extend your legs. I also recommend something under the knees there. You could put your knees up on a chair, which is actually my favorite position for meditation. 61-point guided meditation. I'm going to ask you to move your attention from place to place to place, starting with the breath, breathing in and breathing out, and observing your belly as it rises and falls. And now bring your attention and your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This concludes our 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and start to wiggle, stretch and wiggle. You can stretch your arms overhead, your legs along the mat. Try to create a little more space between your rib cage and your pelvis. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate and circle your ankles and your wrists. Bring your right knee to your chest. Hug your left knee to your chest. Hug both knees to your chest. And rock your knees from side to side. Slowly. Nice lower back stretch. Relief. Release and relief of the lower back. And then whenever you're ready, just roll all the way over to the side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Put your palm of your right hand on the floor. Push yourself away from the floor. Try to come up side lying to a floor seated position without rounding your back. That's the goal. Everybody unmute themselves. I will remove the spotlight from Kathy. I'm going to go to gallery view so I can see all of you. I can't do that for you. Everybody should unmute though, Kathleen included. Maybe Kathleen's not in the room. Well, in that case, whoops. I just about lost my floor seated position here. Bring your hands to your heart. Prayer pose. Press strongly. And then release. Just a soft prayer pose. Lift your occipital ridge up, slide it up toward the ceiling. So you can bow, nodding, bowing over your chest, over your hands. Bowing to each other, recognizing and honoring the light in each other, knowing that we are all one. We're going to close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm going
Thank
to stop the recording, but stick around and tell me how you felt about your foot practice.